It is time for AEW Revolution. And hi everyone, this is Tony Schiavone at the AEW Revolution Control Center. Over the past 3 years, Revolution has seen some of the greatest matches ever in AEW. And this year's event is going to measure up. Tonight's spectacular will originate from one of the nation's finest modern arenas, the Chase Center, home of the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. Tonight's event begins at 8/7 Central. You can see Revolution live on traditional cable and satellite providers, Bleacher Report, select movie theaters, and Dave & Buster's worldwide. International fans, don't forget to order Revolution on FIGHT, ppv.com, The Zone, and YouTube. Coming to the event at the Chase Center tonight, tickets at AEWTIX.com. Here's the card for Revolution. MJF defends the AEW World Title in a 60-minute Iron Man match against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
I'm not going to judge anybody's character. MJF can be perceived as somewhat questionable.
I am going to expose you.
His ego, his money, and most of all, his championship.
MJF came out into this ring and said he hates Bryan Danielson.
MJF, if nothing else, is a very cold and calculating man.
He tries to break the arm of a friend of mine for over 20 years, and he hates me.
He will do anything to keep that title.
Hi, Birdie. Hi, buddy.
I don't think Bryan even realizes how low Max is willing to go.
He put a bounty on my head, tried to injure me, and he hates me. MJF hospitalized my mentor, William Regal, and he hates me.
I hate you because you have had more concussions and more head trauma than anyone in the history of this business. And you're still in my sport?
He rises to the occasion and he proves time and time again just the durability of the wrestler that he is, the technician that he is.
From the moment he wakes up till the moment he goes to sleep, he's thinking about professional wrestling and ways to be the best professional wrestler in the world.
You really think you're the best wrestler in the world, don't you? But that's impossible because I am!
I think MJF has something to prove, and I think the motivation that no one thinks MJF can hang with the challenger for 60 minutes. I think he can.
And you cannot tell me for one single second that there is a person out there alive who thinks MJF has more heart than me.
An Iron Man match, it's all Bryan Danielson. It plays right into his strengths. I think we've seen a more physical, more determined, more vicious MJF than we've ever seen, and I think we're seeing that because he realizes what he's in for.
I've called a lot of 60-minute matches. They're just devastating.
Bryan has done 4 of these matches, and Max has done absolutely nothing. But I will say, he could probably talk for 60 minutes.
What you do, Bryan, is joke when you have a big match opportunity since you've gotten here. You're a joke artist.
The injury to Bryan Danielson's shoulder is a target on his arm for MJF.
The injury to his shoulder and to his arm is a concern, but I don't think it's going to hinder him in winning this match.
This man does not give up.
Do you think there's some monster behind the mask? Do you know what I think is behind the mask? Fear.
See, this belt gives me a reason to get out of bed in the morning, because this belt stands for the simple fact that all my blood, sweat, hard work, tears, and yes, my sins, they were all worth it.
If Bryan Danielson were able to defeat MJF at the 60-minute Iron Man match at Revolution, I think that would right a lot of wrong.
You are going to put me through the hardest match of my life, but know this. After those 60 minutes are up, I will be victorious.
He's really talented. And he could be a generational wrestler if he put in the work. But he doesn't want to work the way that I work.
There are so many different things that come into play in this sport. It may all come down to just who's the hungriest that night.
This business is not about being a good human being. It's about being the best in the game. Bryan Danielson arguably is the best pure wrestler in the game. The best pure wrestlers don't always win.
After this match, I think we will then see who the best wrestler in the company is. And Max, you're great, but Bryan's the best.
legs that won't stop. I have lungs that never let me down. I have a heart that won't ever quit.
Ever since Bryan Danielson arrived, I thought he would be a world champion. I think he's due.
You can't match my legs, my lungs, my heart, and my determination to take that AEW championship from around your waist.
All of MJF's efforts to prevent Bryan Danielson from getting this title shot have failed. Now the brash champion must prove that he can stay in the ring with Danielson for 60 minutes. Also, the AEW Women's World title will be decided in a three-way match as the champion Jamie Hayter defends against both Ruby Soho and Saraya.
We're not here to make friends, baby girl. We're here to take over.
These outsiders coming into the AEW locker room have this sense of superiority or entitlement, like they're better than these women that have been grinding and building this division up since day one.
If you're making people angry, you're generating a reaction.
Where are you, Jamie?
If you screw over my friends like that, you screw over me. Is it to prove that you're above these other women? Grow up.
I've been here 5 months and I have already taken over Jamie. And I'm coming for that championship, baby girl.
Ruby Soho tired of being pulled in all these different directions.
Can a woman really be her own island?
Ruby Soho's trying to not take sides.
I've never tried to be a homegrown. I've never tried to be an outsider. But what I will try to my damnedest is to be the AEW Women's World Champion.
Will Saraya ever get it? We're AEW originals. She'll never get it. It took us a little bit to figure out what the hell we were doing, and we worked our way up to the top.
Yeah! Hey, where are you, Jamie?
Before, I would have considered Saraya a diamond in the rough. Now, I'd consider her more of a dime a dozen.
The homegrown talent thing against the athletes coming in from the outside is real.
Ruby, those are your girls. I had nothing to do with that.
Ruby Soho is just caught in the middle of all of this.
She's caught in the middle. She doesn't know what side to play on.
Is she homegrown? Is she an outsider? I'm neither. I'm just Ruby.
No, Ruby. Oh, right onto Saraya. Ruby, she rolls a bridge.
Did she get her?
And gets the win. Saraya giving Ruby Soho an earful.
She's saying, you're with us.
Ruby screaming, enough.
Why don't we have a little bit of fun at Revolution and make it a three-way match? With everything that's been going on the last few weeks and this whole conversation about where I belong and who I am, winning the AEW Women's World Championship at Revolution will solidify the fact that I've always just been me.
I think Ruby's a little bit of a lost lamb right now.
She's not really on anyone's team, and I kind of want to see it stay that way.
She could fit very comfortably in both camps. But I think Ruby Soho is focused on one thing, and that's becoming AEW Women's World Champion.
She's the underdog. And man, she's got a great heart. We've seen her bleed, we've seen her suffer, and continue to fight.
She's gonna pull this spray out.
Ruby Soho charging to the ring.
As for Ruby, we go way back. And you can't run away from who you are, because I know who you are, you know who you are, and everyone else is gonna find out exactly who you are.
The AEW Women's Championship is what's at stake at Revolution.
I don't care if it's 2 women, 10 women, anybody. I know the responsibility and the weight that this holds, and everybody's gonna understand and see again why Hayter hits hard.
It doesn't matter how hard you fight this. I'm gonna be walking out of Revolution with the AEW Women's Championship. I'm gonna make AEW my house.
Can a woman really be an island? Revolution? You're gonna see it.
The main issue in the women's division has been homegrown talent against talent that arrived later. We'll see how that plays out in this match. Another title match at Revolution will be for the TNT title as the champion Samoa Joe meets the former champ and his former Wardlow partner, Wardlow.
Honestly, I was blank, man. I was numb.
As if it's not enough. Joe with those scissors in his hand.
Joe can be very sadistic.
Cutting the hair of Wardlow.
He wants to tap in. He wants to hit you right where it hurts.
He tried taking my career And then to take it a step further, he took the only thing that he knew I had more of an emotional connection with than anything, and that was my hair.
You told me that same sob story at dinner at a bar. I knew right there exactly where I needed to strike.
Samoa Joe has this switch. Joe walks out that curtain, that Samoa Joe music hits, and he is in business mode, and it is terrifying.
If you pull back on Joe just this much, you're in trouble.
What concerns you most about Samoa Joe?
Nothing. The only things that could have concerned me already have happened. He exposed my knee, and he took personal information and used it against me. I just never fathomed anyone taking it to that level.
We've seen Joe several times throughout his career really getting personal with people. That is sort of like the Samoa Joe specialty. He wants to tap in. He wants to hit you right where it hurts. Sometimes you can really push somebody into that mindset that you've got them shaken on the inside. But sometimes you get the other side of that where you now awaken that monster that's within them.
So there's nothing left he could do to hurt me.
Wardlow is that wrestler that I just feel like that spotlight is really circling around.
Wardlow is still waiting on the moment that he can break loose and have that great career that people have predicted for him since day one.
This Wardlow guy, whoever he is, wherever he's from, is a massive human being.
You know, he's the future of what this company can be. The guy is a bona fide star.
And if Wardlow wants to live his dreams as a top star, this is where it starts.
Wardlow, all a man's great follies, perhaps his greatest, is delusion. But I'm not gonna let you be delusional anymore. I am not only going to survive you, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to smash you. I'm going to do what I have done before, and that's put you on the ground.
There is the new two-time champ, the king of TV right there, baby.
Put you to sleep.
Wait, what is this? Wardlow's not looking to talk, and he is fired up. He is raining down shots on Joe.
Blacked out rage is the only thing I felt in that moment. It's the only thing I've felt ever since. I feel nothing but rage.
Do you even understand the depth of what you stepped into?
Joe's gonna kill you. I've had to walk around backstage listening to people talk about how Joe is the most dangerous man on this roster. No, you're not.
Wardlow, at AEW Revolution, my friend, you will have a revelation that you stood in front of the one true king of television, and you were found wanting.
At Revolution, Joe, I am going to kill you.
This TNT title match at Revolution has become more of a personal issue between Wardlow and the champion Samoa Joe than about a battle for a championship. There will be quite a collision as well at Revolution as Jon Moxley battles Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match.
I mean, if me and Hangman walk down a dark alley, who the do you think's coming out?
You.
No rules, no ref. One guy enters, one guy leaves. Who the do you think's coming out? If you don't want it to be over, then it doesn't have to be over. Just because you don't know the counter to 7th grade wrestling moves.
After all this that we have seen, the hard-hitting action, it was just a simple counter that won the match.
I'm supposed to be celebrating here. I won 2 out of 3. I should be happy.
You won 2 out of 3. What is he upset about? After you lose 2 out of 3, you say, all right, I lost. Just shake hands, you're the better man. You're the better man, let's do it again in the year. Let's run it back.
Well, that was the best case scenario. That he got pinned and didn't get knocked out and didn't get his arm snapped and didn't get concussed again. That was the best case scenario for him. He should be happy.
Yeah, you'll beat him 3 out of 5. Beat him 5 out of 7. As many as he wants. As many as he wants. He'll keep winning.
If you don't learn your lesson, maybe it's time for another one.
You want to talk about our third match? Our third match, I beat Jon Moxley's ass straight for 2 minutes, and at the very last second, he reached up, grabs my head, gets me through the old ball and chain pin, and manages to, I think he would agree, escape.
If I had to think of one word to describe Moxley and Hangman Adam Page, this rivalry, physicality.
It's about more than wins and losses. It's about more than championships. This has become deeply personal.
I know you think we got unfinished business, but we don't.
This is purely just two wrestlers wanting to prove to be the best.
If there's ever a definition of slobberknocker, it's Moxley and Page.
There is no chance that you will ever beat me again.
If you'd have asked me about Jon Moxley months and months ago, I would have said that I maybe admired him.
I think it ends when two men go back in that cold, dark alley and only one gets to come out.
These two guys are gonna collide, and we've seen their collisions before. They've both put each other on the shelf and in the hospital and whatnot.
Texas death.
Buckle up, it's gonna be nasty.
The idea of a Texas death match is to not answer the bell.
It's a match built for destruction.
If you want to go down that road, a true war of attrition, absolute nuclear winter bombs going off everywhere, only one of us survives. All you gotta do is say the goddamn word.
You want me to paint a picture of what the match is going to be like? I'll paint a picture of Revolution in blood. Moxley loves to bleed. He bleeds all the time. Well, he's damn sure going to bleed at Revolution enough to paint the entire canvas red.
I think that this is going to be almost a therapeutic moment for both of these guys at Revolution. A dangerous, bloody, brutal, therapeutic moment.
When you put me in a Texas death match, it will be the end of you.
It is not something to be proud of, it is not something to aspire to. I live for this.
What could happen to me in this Texas death match after what happened in our first encounter? I don't know. And to be honest, yeah, that is a little scary.
But you are not the same animal as me.
I think this could be the scariest match we've ever seen in AEW.
Texas Death Match, simply put, means a fight until the last man is standing. There have been many of these matches throughout the years in pro wrestling. Chances are, Mox and Hangman will take a Texas Death Match to a whole new level. Here's what else is on the Revolution card. A four-way match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship as the Guns defend against the Acclaimed, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and the duo of Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. The AEW World Trios Championship is on the line at Revolution as the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, defend against the House of Black. Ricky Starks meets Chris Jericho with the entire Jericho Appreciation Society banned from ringside. And we'll have a final burial match with grave consequences as Jungle Boy will meet Christian Cage. The object is to put your opponent in the casket and to bury him. AEW Revolution tonight, live from the Chase Center in San Francisco at 8/7 Central. Coming to the event at the Chase Center tonight, tickets at AEWTIX.com. Also, be sure to tune in to our AEW YouTube channel tonight, beginning at 7/6 Central for 0 Hour, originating from the Chase Center. We'll get you ready for the upcoming Revolution pay-per-view, the special features, interviews, and live matches. That's 0 Hour tonight at 7/6 Central, beginning 1 hour before Revolution takes the air. Now, one match we already have for you on 0 Hour will be a trios match. The Lucha Brothers team with Mark Briscoe against Tony Nese, Josh Woods, and Ari Daivari, along with Mark Sterling. Join us tonight, 8/7 Central, for a night you will never forget. You can be part of Revolution on traditional cable and satellite providers, Bleacher Report, select movie theaters, and Dave & Buster's worldwide. International fans, don't forget to order Revolution available through FightPPV.com, The Zone, and YouTube. This is Tony Schiavone. I'll see you tonight for Revolution. We are AEW.